Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Morning Wealth. Three things that we will talk about: banks' earnings roundup, more investments into Geo, focus on Bank of Japan and Bank of Canada's announcements. The first big US banks to report had a collective message: get ready for lots of sword loans. JP Morgan, Citi and Wells Fargo set aside almost 28 billion for bad loans in the second quarter, a mark only surpassed by the last 3 months of 2008. The total was higher than expected, and all three lenders said that their economic outlook had worsened as the pandemic persists. US stocks posted their biggest gain in more than a week on Tuesday amid a late surge in trading, led by the rallies in energy, materials and industrial sectors. Banks were mixed after JP Morgan Chase reported strong trading results, while Wells Fargo tumbled after cutting its dividend and reporting its first quarterly loss since 2008. Citi's fixed income revenue beat while equities missed. Its total cost of credit was about 7.9 billion, weighing down on the net income. Dow Jones was up about 2.1%, the S&P was up about 1.3%, and the Nasdaq added 0.9%. Caterpillar was the best performing Dow stock, rising more than 4%. ExxonMobil and Chevron were also up about 3%. The S&P 500 sector level, energy jumped 3.6%, while the materials and industrial sectors gained more than 2%. Biotech firm Moderna announced that they will be starting phase 3 of their COVID-19 vaccine trials at the end of the month, joining Pfizer and BioNTech. The hope for a vaccine really trumps everything else, and we saw that in the price action in the late surge as well. Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine produced antibodies in all patients tested in the initial safety trial, is what the federal researchers said. It posted on a government website that it will start the final stage COVID vaccine trial on 30,000 adults on July 27th. Shares gained almost 19% in late trading on the antibody results. On the equity side, earnings that we will be looking forward today would be Goldman, Infosys and United Health. Delta also reported yesterday. Delta's adjusted loss per share and adjusted revenue missed. New virus cases stalled a fledgling recovery in the US travel demand, is what the company said, reiterating that it will be more than 2 years until there is sustained recovery. Sticking with travel, US cruise stocks also sank after an analyst at SunTrust and Macquarie said they don't anticipate a resumption in North American sailings until 2021. Google is in advanced talks to invest about 4 billion in Geo platforms. It would join Facebook and a slew of other PE firms piling into Mukesh Ambani's tech venture, which has already attracted about 15 billion of investment in just a few months. An arm of Qualcomm also joined the list of high-profile investors this week. UK banned Huawei from its 5G network. The move will cost its operators as much as £2 billion to implement and will delay the rollout of 5G networks by between 2 to 3 years. Moving on to Forex, we spoke about the Euro yesterday. Euro continues to rally, and in the past few weeks, Euro has been one of the best performing currencies. It rose to a nearly 4-month high versus the US dollar despite weaker than expected economic data. Eurozone's industrial production rose only 12.4% against a 15% forecast. The ZEW survey also ticked up slightly from 59.6 to 59.6 from 58.6. These numbers tell us that while the Eurozone is beginning to recover, investor sentiment remains subdued. So at best, investors anticipate a gradual recovery, which is reasonable because the surge in cases in the US prevents a stronger global economic recovery. With that in mind, the outlook for the Eurozone is still brighter than other parts of the world as they've successfully controlled the spread of the COVID-19. In central bank action, we'll be observing Bank of Canada and Bank of Japan to be announcing their policy. Both are expected to leave policy unchanged. On the BOJ side, further action isn't needed at this meeting because markets are relatively stable and firms don't face significant funding problems. Instead, economists are focused on any changes to the central bank's outlook. A shift back to a median GDP and a CPI forecast from ranges would mean that a period of elevated uncertainty is ending. Same is the case with Bank of Canada. We'll be looking out for what their economic projections are rather than the decision on their monetary policy itself. That's about it. Take care and stay safe and healthy, everyone, and speak soon.